Hi, everybody. This is Gatsad. Yesterday, I posted a clip regarding the Russell Brand uh, accusations that were levied against him. Uh, Today, I just saw some additional information that I thought would be worth to do a follow up episode on. So, this is a letter that uh, Rumble received. For those of you who don't know, Rumble is a video, clip platform that has tried to offer an alternative to YouTube. And for the sake of transparency, I should mention that Rumble was kind enough to contact me a while ago to offer me a deal to join them. I haven't yet joined for reasons that really have to do with scheduling. If I commit to signing with a company, I want to be able to give it my all, and I have so many obligations that I always felt somewhat tepid to agree to the deal. But this is to say that they really are doing some wonderful things. There are many content creators that have moved their stuff to Rumble, one of whom is Russell Brand. And so today, Rumble received the following letter from Culture, Media and Sport Committee, the House of Commons in the UK, addressed to Chris Pavlovsky, the Chief Executive Officer of Rumble. This was signed by Dame Carolyn Dinenage. I don't know how to pronounce her name. Uh, so Dame. So she has a royal title. So, dear Chris, I'm writing concerning the serious allegations regarding Russell Brand in the context of his being a content provider on Rumble with more than 1.4 million followers. The Culture, Media and Sport Committee is raising questions with the broadcasters and production companies who previously employed Mr. Brand to examine both the culture of the industry in the past and whether that culture still prevails today. However, we are also looking at his use of social media, including on Rumble, where he issued his preemptive response to the accusation made against him by the Sunday Times and Channel 4's dispatches. While we recognize that Rumble is not the creator of the content published by Mr. Brand, we are concerned that he may be able to profit from his content on the platform. We would be grateful if you could confirm whether Mr. Brand is able to monetize his content, including his videos relating to the serious accusations against him. If so, we would like to know whether Rumble intends to join YouTube in suspending Mr. Brand's ability to earn money on the platform. We would also like to know what Rumble is doing to ensure that creators are not able to use the platform to undermine the welfare of victims of inappropriate and potentially illegal behavior. Yours sincerely, Dame Caroline, so and so. So here is a from the House of Parliament in the United States. They are writing to a company. I believe that Rumble is now a public company, and saying, hey, there is a person who does business with you. He's been accused of certain things. And so, we're asking you to intervene and remove his ability to earn money. So, again, the deontological principle of presumption of innocence doesn't apply. There have been some accusations, and therefore he must be ended. And here is what Rumble responded. This is Rumble's response to the UK Parliament's letter to our CEO, Chris Pavlovsky. This is a tweet that they put out. Today, we received an extremely disturbing letter from a committee chair in the UK Parliament. While Rumble obviously deplores sexual assault, rape, and all serious crimes and believes that both alleged victims and the accused are entitled to a full and serious investigation, it is vital to note that recent allegations against Russell Brand have nothing to do with content on Rumble's platform. Just yesterday, YouTube announced that based solely on these media accusations, it was barring Mr. Brand from monetizing his video content. Rumble stands for very different values. We have devoted ourselves to the vital cause of defending a free internet, meaning an internet where no one arbitrarily dictates which ideas can or cannot be heard or which citizens may or may not be entitled to a platform. We regard it as deeply inappropriate and dangerous that the UK Parliament would attempt to control who is allowed to speak on our platform or to earn a living from doing so. Singling out an individual and demanding his ban is even more disturbing given the absence of any connection between the allegations and his content on Rumble. We don't agree with the behavior of many Rumble creators, but we refuse to penalize them for actions that have nothing to do with our platform. Although it may be politically and socially easier for Rumble to join a cancel culture mob, doing so would be a violation of our company's values and mission. We emphatically reject the UK Parliament's demands. What a perfect response. What a honey badger response. What makes the West historically great is that it allowed for the flourishing of a set of unique deontological principles that were inviolable. And it is this bedrock of foundational principles that allowed the West to be an anomaly in the history of the human condition. It's precisely because there were these principles such as presumption of innocence, such as freedom of conscience, such as freedom of speech, an absolute defense of freedom of speech. Not what Jacinda Ardern, or the former New Zealand Prime Minister, just uttered grotesquely, and I think at some United Nations thing, we have to control misinformation and disinformation for, because you're a bunch of, rubes and deplorables and the great unwashed, and it's for us to tell you what is right or wrong. The reflex to cancel people, the reflex to shut the voices of those with whom we disagree if we are in power is as instinctual as humans having two eyes. That's the default value of the human condition, regrettably. And therefore, what we're seeing today in the West is exactly the story of our entire history. But in the past, it was emperors and dictators and autocrats and kings and theocrats that decided who gets to live, who gets to die, who gets to speak, who doesn't get to speak, who's holding the right position, who's not. Today, we're doing it in a soft way. We're doing it for collective, community cohesion. We're doing it to protect marginalized communities. We're doing it for diversity, inclusion, and equity. We're doing it because if we don't recognize that some men bear children, then transgender kids will commit suicide en masse. So there's always a justification for why we need to shut the voices of those with whom we disagree. And what you're seeing throughout the West is exactly that penchant. So it is dictatorship, but it's soft. It is cloaked in the robe of progressivism. And so kudos to Rumble for having stood firmly in defense of these deontological principles. And if I can do anything to free up my schedule and go back to Rumble and see if I can connect with them in a professional manner, I'll certainly will do that, because this is how you ultimately reward the companies that stand for good values. You do business with them, whereas those that don't support these fundamental deontological principles, those are the companies that you should perhaps think about not doing business with. Kudos, Rumble. Good job. Cheers, everybody.